Pass is bad for business. Game Pass cannot sustain itself. The saga continues, folks. Here we go again. Like I told you, the entire world run on Windows. The entire video game industry runs through Microsoft. Told you all this. I told you. It's a Game Pass world, and we're just living in it, right? The video game industry runs through Microsoft. So Microsoft beat the FTC, right? And now the FTC is back at it again. You're like, huh? Not this again. Yep. Got two articles here. One from Tweaktown. What's up, Tweaktown? And one from neowin.net. Listen to this. FTC call Xbox Game Pass standard tier a degraded product, alleges harm to consumers. Popular Federal Trade Commission alleged that the combination of the new Game Pass price hikes alongside a degraded standard tier could harm consumers. Yeah. Federal Trade Commission alleged that Microsoft's recent decision with Xbox Game Pass will cause harm to consumers. Says here, a bit ago, Microsoft announced that it would be making big changes to its Xbox Game Pass multi-game subscription service. Game Pass Ultimate has been... See if I can turn this up here. Hope I got this right. Alright. Says here, Game Pass... let me start over. A bit ago, Microsoft announced that it would be making big changes to its Xbox Game Pass multi-game subscription service. Game Pass Ultimate has been raised by $3 from $16.99 a month to the new $19.99 a month price. Game Pass console tier has now been removed entirely and will be replaced with a new higher cost standard tier in the coming months that removes day and date release and trades that big benefits out with online multiplayer. Says here, a popular FTC called Xbox Game Pass standard tier a degraded product, harm to consumers. These adjustments were caught by the FTC, who is currently appealing a decision made by who? Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley in July 2023 that had led to the closure of the $70 billion Microsoft Activision merger. In a new filing, the FTC alleged that these price hikes, in tandem with the new degraded Xbox Game Pass standard product, will cause harm to consumers. Says here, the file it shows June 2019, July 2023, and July 2024, went from $14.99 and plus 13.4%. I mean 13.34%, then to $16.99, and then it went for, then it was a plus 17.66%, and then to $19.99. So it says the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate trend. Says here a closer look at Xbox Ultimate pricing trend from launch to present. Anyway, says here the filing reads, the Federal Trade Commission right to alert the court to Microsoft announced price increase in the multi-game subscription cloud gaming market, which the district court found relevant to the merger analysis. Microsoft is raising the price for its Game Pass Ultimate product from $16.99 a month to $19.99 a month, a 17% year-over-year increase. Additionally, Microsoft is discontinuing its $10.99 a month console Game Pass product. Users of that product may pay 81% more to switch to Game Pass Ultimate. For consumers unwilling to pay 81% more, Microsoft is introducing a degraded product, Game Pass Standard, at $14.99. This product costs 36% more than the console Game Pass and withhold day one releases. And then it says product degradation, removing the most valuable games from Microsoft new service, combined with price increase for existing users, is exactly the sort of consumer harm from the merger that the FTC has alleged. Microsoft price increase and product degradation combined with Microsoft reduced investment in output and product quality via employee layoffs are the hallmark of a firm exercising market power post-merger. Importantly, Microsoft action are inconsistent with Microsoft representation below. Microsoft price increase coincide with adding Call of Duty to Game Pass most expensive tier and discontinuing the console tier will happen shortly before releasing Call of Duty newest games. And then from neowin.net, here's the other one. It says here, the FTC slams Microsoft over this month's Xbox Game Pass changes. It says earlier this month, Microsoft surprised many people with major changes to its Xbox Game Pass membership. Now, those alterations have caught the attention of the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, which entered a filing about these changes to the Courts of Appeal for the Ninth Circuit today. Via The Verge, Microsoft not only increased prices for PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription last week, it also stopped new subscribers from signing up for an Xbox Game Pass console plan. Later this year, it plans to launch Xbox Game Pass Standards, which will offer subscribers online play and hundreds of games, but with no day one titles, which will now only be available via PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. In its filing today, the FTC stated these changes were a consequence of Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard in October 2023. It states, and it says, product degradation, removing the most valuable games from Microsoft's new service combined with price increase for existing users is exactly the sort of consumer harm from the merger the FTC has alleged. While Microsoft was able to legally close the deal to buy Activision Blizzard, the FTC filed for an appeal to that decision. The two companies met in court in December 2023 to debate their position with the judge of that court. However, those judges have yet to render a decision in the case. In February, the FTC submitted a filing to the same court claiming that Microsoft's decision to lay off 1,900 of its gaming division employees, including many Activision Blizzard team members, was inconsistent with Microsoft's suggestion to the court that two companies will operate independently post-merger. It added that the layoff underscored the FTC needs for injunctive relief pending completion of the administrative proceedings. Hopefully, we'll get a decision from the appeal court's judge in the very near future. Well, and that's the end of the article. The saga continues with these two. The FTC versus Microsoft. The saga continues. Microsoft closed the deal, but the FTC filed an appeal. And Microsoft now laid off some employees. Closed down Arcane Studios, which I thought they should have kept around and try to make a Redfall 2 to make up for Redfall 1. But then probably Redfall needs some system updates and all that. But anyway, 1,900 employees. The Game Pass situation is just like Xbox Live. The whole Game Pass situation, if you look at it, if you remember when Game Pass first came out, when you had Xbox Live, you couldn't. What's that word I'm looking for? You couldn't, like with Xbox Live, you don't have the same access as having Xbox Game Pass. So what Microsoft did now with Game Pass, to me, let me see if I can close this down here. What Microsoft did with Xbox Game Pass is split Game Pass into two. So it's just like having Xbox Live, but instead of having Xbox Live, it's going to be Game Pass, the lower tier, and then Game Pass Ultimate. So it's the same. The only thing they did with Game Pass is like, okay, it's like removing Xbox Live out of the picture, but we're going to split Game Pass in two, have one lower tier and one higher tier, and that's it. So they increased Game Pass to what now, according to Tweaktown. Let's see, what it went from $16.99 to $19.99 a month. Okay, $20 a month. So 20 times what, 12 months. So that's what, about 200. So you're paying $20 a month. So it's like that's like $240 for the entire year. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. The lower end Game Pass users, it will be like having Xbox Live, but you won't have day one releases. So Microsoft increasing the Xbox Game Pass to $20 a month. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's really not that bad. But in this whole Game Pass situation, though, the part that got me is when they got Ubisoft involved in this and how they distributed Call of Duty. And Tweaktown had an article on this that broke down the whole thing. I gotta look it up, by the way. But it explains Ubisoft's role in this whole thing. Microsoft buying Game Pass, basically Activision Blizzard was up for grabs, was really up for grabs, and anybody with big pockets can get them. Whether Comcast, whether AT&T, whether Google, Amazon, yeah, all those companies, even Tencent, they could have gotten Activision Blizzard, even Facebook. But Facebook wasn't interested. Facebook is a monster by itself anyway. So, social media, the face of social media, not Twitter. But anyway, yeah. Anybody with big pockets could have gotten Activision Blizzard. So, like they say on Call of Duty Black Ops 4, first come, first serve. So, Microsoft saw the opportunity, and with their claws stretched out like an eagle, they beat everybody to it. But when they beat everybody to it, there were other deals that were out there that Sony themselves could have snatched up. AT&T had who? WB Games, Rocksteady, and NetherRealm Studios on the table for $5 billion. And Sony could have owned the rights to all the Batman games. Yeah. So deals were out there, man. It's just that Microsoft saw an opportunity and just went straight for it, And they beat everybody to it. Now, as far as the layoffs goes, some companies make bad decisions. It's not just Microsoft. Some people, signed up with Embracer Group, and they sealed their faith, So when hard time came, Embracer Group was like laying off studios and shutting them down. Some studios just ran out of financial backing. They didn't have the financial support, to like continue going. And some studios, they just probably lost their motivation to create games, Yeah. As far as arcane studios go, Microsoft, to me, Microsoft should have kept Arcane Studios. I think they should have kept them. And then, Arcane Studios could have kept working on Redfall, but then also use Redfall 1 as a template to build Redfall 2, because Redfall 2 would be Microsoft answers to Valve Left 4 Dead, So yeah, so to me, they should have never let go of Arcane Studios, you know. But even those studios were being closed, the game industry kept going, you know. And Microsoft, you know, probably moved people to different divisions, so you know, so projects can be you know, I would say Phil Spencer, he's the head of the gaming division, probably moved people to other studios to get projects done, you know. So yeah, but the whole Game Pass situation, it would be like having Xbox Live and Game Pass, but instead of having Xbox Live, we're just gonna have Game Pass. We're gonna break it into two tiers, the lower tier and the higher tier, and that's that. So yeah, but $20 a month for Game Pass, not bad, not bad. You know, is it harming to consumers? Not really. You know, a lot of games, when it comes to live service games too, some of those games didn't follow the blueprint that other games laid out, you know. Suicide Squad, 90% of the anger was because that game wasn't a Batman game. Suicide Squad was an open world game. It got attacked early, but when you really go back and look at it, you really see that people were really mad at the game because it wasn't a Batman game, so to speak. Yeah, you know, but yeah, you know, the game industry, you know, it moves on. You know, the Avengers, the Avengers didn't follow the blueprint that DC Universe laid out. If they would have followed that blueprint, the Avengers would still be here, you know. Yeah. You know, some studios, you know, here, I got an issue with, like, okay, with studios taking off games off service, taking them offline, and then try to fix them. Because when you do that, you know, you lose your momentum, and then when you try to come back, now, and you try to gain that momentum, your user base that you had before, they're gone. They're not. Some of them, they're not. A lot of them are not going to come back to the game after you took off the game offline. So this is why I said communication is big in video games. So let's say you release a live service game and you want to work on it, you got to keep that game online. You got to keep the game online, but then the developers need to be talking to the users to see what, you know, to explain the direction, what they're working on and stuff like that, you know, and then keep the game online, but keep working on the updates, and then when it's time to release it, it's time to release it. So when it comes to live service games, man, it's not good to, like, you know, take a game offline, because once you release it, you had a user base, whatever that number is. But now to fix the game now, you need DLCs and expansions. So a developer now, they have to communicate with their user base to see what kind of issues they're having with the game, and then the users, they send the information to the developers, but then the developers now, they have to turn around now and now fix the game. You know, the Avengers could be saved, the Avengers can be saved, Anthem can be saved, even Suicide Squad, Killer Justice League can be saved, based on what I just said. So communication is big in video games, very big. So a lot of these live service games, man, they just need a lot of DLCs and expansions to fix them, you know, because today's games now, they're so big now, you need DLCs and expansions to build them. There's no such thing now as, well, you release a game and then that's it. Nah, there's always work to be done, you know, on those games. So yeah, so communication is big, man. So, but this filing by the FTC right now, it's off. You know, it's off. It's really off, because basically what Microsoft did was, instead of having Xbox Live and Game Pass, we're gonna move Xbox Live out of the way and just focus on Game Pass. We're gonna split Game Pass in two, the higher tier and the lower tier. So it would be like having the original Xbox Live, but instead of having the original Xbox Live, you just have Game Pass lower tier and higher tier, and that's it. So yeah. But other than that, man, game industry moves on, man. But a lot of these games can be saved. Can be saved though. You know, developers got to talk to the users. You know, on getting the on fixing a lot of these games. You know, so yeah. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the whole thing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Board, Dark Side. Go. Peace.